former Trojans are helping out in the LA community as well. David Sall, a graduate from the Marshall School of Business MBA program, joins us now in the studio. He's an operations manager for Chrysalis Enterprises, a nonprofit that employs people transitioning out of homelessness and reintegrates them into the workforce. Thanks for coming on with us here at The Current, David.
Yeah, pleasure to be here.
So, to start off, can you tell us a little bit about what Chrysalis is?
Yeah, so we're an employment development agency. Our main purpose is to help people, primarily people who are experiencing homelessness or are low income, to transition to a pathway to self-sufficiency. And we do that through jobs. So we have a couple of different avenues that we employ. We've got a program where we help people to get a resume, do some job skills trainings and some classes. Then we also have a couple of businesses that we run to help employ those folks and get them a foot in the door back into the workforce.
And what types of businesses are those?
So we have two businesses. They each serve different purposes. So we have a street cleaning and street beautification business called Chrysalis Works that employs folks who maybe need a little bit more polish before they go back into the workforce. So it's managed by us internally. We have contracts with different business improvement districts. And people are generally sweeping the streets, removing graffiti, power washing when needed. Basically just making sure the streets of downtown and the various neighborhoods around LA County look good. And we really help people to make sure they're coming to work on time, dressed in their appropriate uniform, taking feedback well. Some of the soft skills, that's a lot of what we focus on, is the soft skills of employment. And then the business that I'm the operations manager for is our staffing business. So folks who maybe are a little bit further along on their soft skills that are ready to go out and be in front of an employer who is not us and be put out on a temp to hire contract to get their foot in the door, to get some recent work experience and maybe even show a company who might not have looked at them coming off the street per se, to say, hey, you know what, this guy or gal can do a fantastic job. Now that they're in here, you know what, I would hire them. Even though I might not have, based on off the paper I might have seen if they had just come in the door cold.
Sure. So how do you at Chrysalis determine which of the two businesses the people that come to you should go into when they start?
It's a great question. We're actually thinking a lot about that right now. So before you'd come to either of our two businesses, you go through our full program. So that's a number of job prep classes that are everything from how to search for a job, how to get that job, and then how to keep that job. Those are the three things we're really focused on trying to help people figure out how to do. So they go through that whole program. They go through practice interviews and are evaluated and scored on them and given feedback. And then they're also helped to create a resume that really helps sell them to potential employers. Once they've completed all of that, they have an employment specialist who's been with them through that whole entire process as a one-on-one point person and support person that will then make a referral basically to one of those transitional job programs based on their experience and their work with them on what sort of is the appropriate intervention and help that they need to get to that next level of finding a permanent job. So it's based on an internal referral.
And how did you first get involved with Chrysalis?
So I, as you mentioned, am a former student of USC, and I had a little bit of a unique career path, but basically, I studied social enterprise while I was here in addition to marketing, and, had a connection to the organization through a professor here, Adlai Wertman, and really had a lot of respect for the organization for quite a while. We studied them as a case study example while I was here as one of the top most well-respected, and I say that as from my before I was there, then now that I'm there, I still feel that way. One of the most respected in employment development, in the employment development space, in the social enterprise space. So had always sort of revered them and had the connection through Professor Wertman and sought it out with this opportunity. My goal has always been to be in social enterprise and running a social enterprise, helping to make an impact in people's lives in a meaningful way. And so through the USC connection, I guess, the Marshall network, the USC network.
And you mentioned that meaningful impact, whether you know specific people who have come through Chrysalis or just generally, what kind of impact does Chrysalis have on the people that you guys serve?
Yeah, the simplest way I can put that is that jobs is really our medium for helping people reconnect with family, reconnect with a sense of purpose, find meaning. These things that are really sort of core, human desires and human needs, that's really what we're doing. We do that, like I said, through the avenue of jobs and employment because that's a really fantastic way for people to find meaningful ways to use their time and ways to earn money that allows them to repair relationships that may be broken or move on from a past that they might not want to be a part of anymore. But we have these ceremonies that we do that are bell ringing ceremonies where we actually will celebrate when somebody gets a job. So we have this sacred bell that's in our lobby under a spotlight at all times that no one touches unless you've just gotten a job. And when someone does get that job, that employment specialist, that person who's with them the whole time, will come and present that person and celebrate them. And literally the entire company, every single employee, no matter what job function, stops, comes to the lobby. We ring that bell. That person who just got that job will ring that bell and celebrate it. So we get to really celebrate each personal win in all those ways that people are, finding success and, improving on themselves.
All right, David, thanks again for coming in. It was really great to hear more about Chrysalis, and looking forward to the next ringing of the bell.
Yeah, we'd love to have you. Thanks so much for having us.
If you want to get involved or learn more about Chrysalis, please visit the organization's website at www.changelives.org.